Now, warning before we start. Spoilers galore. We are literally going through everything, apart from the Solstice DLC and some little minor secrets here and there about this game. So if you want to experience this for yourself, and I highly recommend that, do that first and then come back to this video. Again, spoilers galore. We are not leaving most of the rocks unturned here. Alright, that's enough. Goodbye. One shot. Ooh! We wake up in a dark room. Our cat-like friend gets off the bed and we take a nice look around. Computer next to the bed is accessible but needs a password. Pick up the remote in the opposite side of the room and hold it up to the bright window which reveals 4 colored letters. Input it and the second bit of the mystery unfolds. Now, fourth wall breaks are a very common way the game interacts with you, and quite a fair bit of puzzles are solved through this fourth wall break type thing. But I really miss how it looked like just on your regular Windows desktop. I think it looks so cool. It really sells that sentient computer type deal they are going for. A door unlocks and Nico walks out the room and explores what seems to be an abandoned house. Too dark in this B, so we need to liven up the place. A broken TV sparks and we've got a tree branch. Coat that bitch with alcohol from the refrigerator and light it up, and then light the fireplace. Very nice, very nice. With the glimmer of the firelight, we spot the basement key wedged into the floorboard. Pick it up and we head to the basement. Nico is now in possession of a bulb. What this bulb entails, we do not know yet. And this bulb fits very nicely into the front door hole, which opens and we are free. We are free, but in unfamiliar lands. It's purple. We walk around a little bit and bump into a robot at the main outpost that has multiple reality bombs about our current situation. We are the Messiah, and to save the world that we are actively in from decaying, and said world is already on borrowed time.
It's only my 3rd day out here.
And we are telling all this to what would be an 8-year-old kid. No pressure though, it's not like the entire world is dying anyway. There are 3 regions we are to tread through, and in the middle is a tall tower that you saw at the beginning, said to be where the sun stood atop long before it disappeared and plunged the world into its current dark state. The bulb that Nico is currently holding is to be the replacement. The world since then has been surviving due to an abundant element called phosphor that has stored light during the sun's reign, but it is finite, and once it gives out, the world follows suit. Nico, our protagonist, speaks on the computer that we interacted with in the abandoned house and was doing all that weird fourth wall break stuff. The bot kinda summarizes it as contact with their god. You and me, we are their god, kinda controlling Nico and his subsequent actions. Nico was told to lock in to try and contact us, and boom, our bond is set. But for now, best we walk around and learn more about this area. While walking around, we find a note detailing the discovery of a metal alloy 291, which allows for advancements in robotics manufacturing. The remnants of a mining society still lives here, with factories, living communes, and hospitals for said miners still standing beside the excavated land, leaving cavities with slender paths slithering through them. I'm sorry, you gotta give me a pat on my back for that description, come on. As we're making our way, we encounter a lone hut in the far east side of the Barrens near the mines, and there we see a new face. The light bulb. So are you the Messiah?
See, I didn't know I came here to be disrespected.
And if cooking us already wasn't enough for the lady here, she starts doom posting on the timeline, talking about the sun, the bulb in her hands, may not even save the world from decay, blah blah blah. But I mean, realistically, even if we wanted the world to decay, it's not like we can off somewhere and watch the place fall into darkness. We're most likely gonna suffer the same fate here, so self-preservation is definitely a factor here. The lady says that maybe once we complete putting the sun at the top of the tower, that we will be automatically teleported home. A theory that satiates Nico for now. We then snoop around and read a note on the lady's table. In it we discover her name's Silver, and the writer is very remorseful of what happened in the mines, possibly referring to a prior incident that occurred with Silver. They suggest Silver comes back, as it's only a matter of time before the robots are recalled. They ask her at the very least to notify them that their message reached her. Signed, Kip. We then steal a shiny screwdriver from a shelf and run off to the mines. Unscrew a lens from a robot and go back out, walk around some more and go back to the main outpost where we use a crowbar we picked earlier in the trap house we woke up in, and open a box where we find a broken battery. Combine lens and broken battery, it becomes an empty battery. Also another note. This seems to be a worker expressing apprehensiveness with the head engineer being replaced with a robot that was apparently responsible for an incident that took place here. He ultimately though does put his faith in whoever is running this shindig, even though most likely he does not have a say in the matter. There's a generator in the main outpost, and remember that big ass battery we have that apparently an 8-year-old kid can lug around? Well, it has a convenient hole shaped like the bulb we are carrying, so very quickly charge that bitch up, use it, put it in the generator, and bam, the whole place is powered up and fully charged. The outpost suddenly is beaming with life. Well, artificial life, I guess. And hey, what's that bright ass PC talking about? What is this? Oh! I see you've made progress in this world, Big K. That I have. But that progress stops here. I believe you need a code to unlock a certain box. I do? Well, the code no longer exists in this world. Do you understand what this means, Big K? Good start looking. Yes. What the fuck is all this? 545885. Anyways though, we got the code to unlock some box, so let's go look for it as I memorize the code in the least annoying way possible. 545885. 545885. 545885. 545885. 545885. 545885. 5458. Oh! I see you, son of a bitch. 545885. In there, we find a gas mask and a weird looking book that we can't quite read as it's in some kind of encrypted language. Let me. Oh my god, that actually scared me, bro. That's a jump scare. Our first glimpse of the world decaying. Regardless, with this new mask, we can finally go higher into the Barrens, where the air was a bit dodgy, and there we find more remnants of the mining society. In the abandoned factories, we find a cleaning solvents recipe, a cleaning sponge, and a can-do attitude. There's also notes in the abandoned living quarters from the miners, mostly commenting on the evacuations post the sun's disappearance. Some complaining about how much they have to carry back home with them, while others are notes from their loved ones eagerly awaiting their arrival back. Iron Giants here too, a robot who served as a protection around these areas and seems to be nothing but that, as a very concrete fact with robots in this world is they cannot act outside their programming if they have not been tamed. We'll learn more about that later on. We made the cleaning solvent with the blue phosphorus we extracted from a bubbled up pond and some gas we took. And remember about the robots being called back up in one of the notes? Well, there's still one left in the Barrens, and if we can fix him up, he can get us out of the Barrens to the next area. We got that cleaning agent conveniently, as bro was kinda rusty, so we give him a good old rub down.
Pause.
And he's functional, but he does not know the coordinates to the glen. Time to speak to the head engineer. Silver begrudging off, you stupid dick. Why did you write a word in the script you can't pronounce? What the f? I can't I'm not even. Silver reluctantly gives us an amber clover necklace thing. I guess this will help. Yay. And I guess we've bugged her quite a bit and stole a screwdriver, so I guess we gotta play some chess with her. Proceeds to dominate an 8-year-old kitten. Never gonna say that again. And with that, the Barrens chapter comes to a close. We have arrived at the glens and are one more region closer to the tower. I guess this area you can consider more of the foresty green area of the world. These settlements interspersed with ruins. Fireflies are also evidently a dime a dozen. Passed by a girl who's had too much sugar, and as we are walking we hear somebody yelling for someone. We follow said voice and we meet a guy who looks like a bud. Calamus is the name, and whom he's screaming for is his younger sister, Alula. We promise to keep an eye out for her, and we head off. We run into a shepherd who's herding ram, and he wants to give us a task of, herding his ram. But we're kinda cooped up with the task of having the entire fate of the world in our hands, so we'll help him later. We also run into a second iron giant standing guard at the ruins. We need to write our names in order to enter, but of course, we don't have a pen. We passed by a few of these ruins too, but most of them have this uncontrollable vine growth, though there are a few who don't have them. One of which we enter. We ask a robot who's been observing the vine growths about it. These vines appeared mere minutes ago. I've been seeing a lot of them in doorways and stuff. I just assumed it was cause this place is abandoned. A sign of distress. A living being is in need of help, but I cannot trace the source. Very interesting. We'll save that for when we need it. Anyways though, we gotta get back to exploring because we may find some more fun stuff. That's Maze, a plant spirit and guardian of the glen. As you can probably guess, with the sun's disappearance came her falling ill, and since then she's been deteriorating rapidly. And even now, with Nico coming as the Messiah with the sun, it seems to be much too late for her. At the very least though, as she is on her way out, we can make her way out be one of hope and content. As she can once again feel the embrace of the sun and also know that the assured pilgrimage to the tower to restore her world is in safe hands. And with that, we give her space. Well, our hands are free now. So let's go hard some rum! Okay. Puzzle time. I'm far too smart. I can do this, man. They all need to be in the dark patches, right? Oh my god, I fucked up. I really fucked up. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, yes. Okay, we got 3 out of... I think I've stucked English. Righty-ho. Boy, do I love puzzles.
Fucking hell, man. I'm finished.
I'm actually thinking really hard about this. This is embarrassing. Oh, I think I've just figured it out. Oh my god, I've just figured it out. No, I have not figured it out. Oh man, this is so stupid. Oh no, I might just have to pull up my pirate software and just look this shit up. I'm not even gonna lie to you, son. I've visually stalked myself. Hold on. Nah, I haven't figured it out yet. Hold on, let me just try this. Never mind, I figured it out. I'm so smart. Oh my god, I'm so smart. I wish I timed it. I gotta check how much time that was. Get that f***ing clock off screen. For our trouble, we're handed some rum wool, which we immediately trade into the local trader and get a bottle of dye. Let's go. What is wrong with me? Righty-ho, righty-ho, righty-ho. I've just realized while editing this, I did not explain how this light puzzle thing came about. So within one of the ruins, you walk in, you'll find a computer, interact with it, and pretty much it says something. The answer is the most convenient place in your computer, and then bam, it's on the desktop. It's pretty much like the last puzzle we did in the Barrens. We interacted with the computer and it put the code in like a readme file. Anyway, yeah, this is me editing. Like the video, subscribe, please. Ah, not a hard one though. Yes, sir. Oh, who the fuck? You saved me. We found Alula, Palamas' sister, all safe and sound, and now all that's left is to deliver her back. Palamas keeps saying how this world is getting more dangerous by the minute, but that's okay. You're here now. You can make everything better. Yeah. Ew, you so annoying. Let's go. Yuck! Stop! Why is this so funny to me? Alright, we need to go. Seriously. Oh, I'm too easily amused, man. She's the best. We make our way to her brother and they have a little happy reunion. Aww. They take Nico back to their house and as a thank you, he's handed a golden feather, a heirloom of their father's. We then walk around the property. When we enter a little chamber, we learn that is this Bud's people's sacred grounds and also where Calamus and Alula's mother is buried. They typically go there with boats, but it's been a while, Alula says. Very sad stuff. And even sadder stuff, we gotta go retrieve the bulb from Maze. Yeah, I'm sorry. This... Oh man, I'm a Yeah, this maize corn thing, like it hits in the moment, but now that I'm watching it back post editing, this is fucking hilarious. If you remember Minecraft story mode, I can't remember which episode it is, but there's a pet pig that the protagonist had. I think his name was Ruben or something. And spoilers, because I knew you're gonna play this game, the motherfucker dies. I'll just play a clip right here. It's literally the same thing. Oh man, I'm sorry. It was funny. It was funny. Okay. Anyways, the elephant in the room right now. The bulb is f***ing off. What the f***? So Nico is kind of like a fire ember or something, cause like bar for bar, this is what happened when we woke up in that crack house in the Barrens. Regardless, son saved, thank God. But I think we gotta wrap it out here, bro. We gotta head out. We say au revoir to the bad them and head over to Iron Giant 2 and use the gold feather and bottle of dye like a quilt, pen, and write our names so we can pass. But wait, Nico is tired. Keep forgetting he's like an 8-year-old kid. A room to the west. Your west or my west? I do not remember seeing a room, I'll be honest. Can we just we can just crash with Alula. God damn, where the rooms at, bro? This is why I said you could have crashed with Alula. Now why are you doing this? I'ma just sleep here. I'm gonna be real with you, son. I've not seen a bed here at all. I've literally entered everybody's house. Bed. Where is the bed? I'm literally gonna have to Google this. I'm trying to bro, I'm about to Google this. What the fuck this? I'm Googling. OneShot Glen save location.
Somewhere in the gate is up here.
You have got to be shitting me. It's literally, bro, this is some joke thing. It is literally to the west. I was thinking she was talking like map-wise to the left. Sick. Just go to bed, nigga. Go to bed. Sure. Those things are Nico's dreams. Nico talks to us about it. His dreams are of his home world, his village specifically. He compares that with the current world he's in and he can't help but miss his home world. He's curious of our world and poses questions to us, one of them being the fear of darkness. And we converse more, which helps him take his mind off being homesick. Alright though, seriously Nico, we need to get the hell out of here, bruv. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Alright, I think we pretty much finished everything, right? I think we're going to the tower at this point, because we're done with the two lads. I think so. Yeah, look at this. We're about to transition. Wallpaper, hold on. Okay. Fucking hell, that scared me. What in the world? Damn, so we're not going back. We are done. Oh, no. Welcome to the Refuge, the faint but still beating heart of the world. We run into Iron Giant 3, who directs Nico to the library at the surface to learn more about the tower, as getting into that motherfucker ain't as easy as it sounds. And yes, we're currently at the top of the Refuge, and we're supposed to take an elevator down to reach the surface level. These are treated as two separate areas in the game, and that's a tragedy. Why is that? Well, we'll find out. We try to scoot past Mr. Cube here, but he states only the bearer of the sacred kernel is permitted access to the garden. Or in English, remember the dying, currently dead lady we met in the Glens? The plant spirit who was doing that whole vine thing. She dropped her kernel when she died, and we picked it up, and basically that's what is the sacred kernel. We show old boy that, and he permits us to go to the garden. We plop it in the center pot of the garden, and please brace yourself for what is gonna be said here. I ain't gonna lie, Nico, you could low-key shit in this.
What?
Cause you know, like animal manure particularly like fertilizes seedlings, right? And Nico is presumably like a Lego cat, so he could like shit on the seed. We might not even need soil. I was deathly serious about this, by the way, but we'll just try and ignore what I said. We need soil for all sacred kernel, so we keep that in mind. As we descend toward the elevator section of the top refuge, we hear a voice clearly having trouble with something. Walk towards it, and we meet a man standing next to the elevator. Of course, the whole Messiah recognition happens, blah blah blah, but the elephant in the room is the elevator does not work. Specifically, there are no buttons to operate it. It's a nice little snazzy cafe here on the right side of this top level, and in there we talk with a lady who's manning, or would it be rather womaning. We learn from her that the city's infrastructure is slowly crumbling, with skywalks and stairs regularly breaking off. Elevators have become sort of a substitute, as that has not yet failed on them. And I mean, she's not lying. Just on this top level alone, you can see the stairs are hella segmented. It's a miracle, frankly, that this motherfucker's still standing, especially with Iron Giant cubed heavy ass on it. We pick a metal can on the ground of the cafe, which says coffee ground. Now you're a big boy / girl, however few of you they are here. We want to go to ground level, and this can says coffee ground, so this is gonna be the base of our button that we are going to construct. We decide to trespass into people's apartments, where we find interesting things such as a child who's home alone with a robot, a penguin, a Glen resident who brought his rams with him, and one of those robotic cleaning things which we decide to get on. This is so retarded. I love it. You know, these little slices of apartments we can enter provide us with a bit of, world building, which is always appreciated. We obviously then bump into a houseplant who is, get this, a gardener. Get the soil from the houseplant. We then go into what I guess is the apartment common library room thing, and still their fridge magnets. To be honest, I was probably doing similar shit when I was 8. Cover the kernel, pour our tube of water on it, and pray to God it does not dry out. I count exactly 0 trees around, so maize, you might be cooked. We find some scissors and cut out the ground part of the metal can, combine that with the magnets, and go give it a try as a button at the elevator. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what did we expect? We have a little sulk and walk around, and we meet a clock, who is immediately on the same doom posting thing Silver was. I have my ways, has a big fucking clock as a head. Another one of them fourth wall break computers. This time it gives us a film and tells us it will be pivotal, and when the time comes to expose it to the void. I may have walked for 5 minutes not knowing what any of that bullshit means, but eventually the cogs do turn. Was that seriously all I was meant to do, for fuck's sake? I'll still be honest though, even currently with a finished script, I don't know how I did that. Anyway, you see the numbers. I'm sure you know what happens now. 63014, 63014, 63014, 63014, 63014. We find some tape in the opposite room from the clock lady, and we can now secure our elevator button actually properly and give it one more whirl. I guess them glitch things is a feature. We did it, but all we need to do now is enter the code. Oh my god. I may have forgotten, please. I've actually forgotten. Stop. This is not fun. Okay, I was off by only one number, to be fair. Let's go. Yeah, so remember the tragedy I'd mentioned to you all a little while ago? Well, it's just a little teeny incy-wincy problem of the surface level of the refuge. That being, I didn't record it. Or more accurately, I thought I was recording it for about 2 hours and then got the shock of my life. I can't hold you. I thought about restarting the whole game and doing it, but the schedule as is already all fucked up. But hey, not that much happens. So what I'm gonna do is just summarize a lot here and use certain footage from the man them that I'll credit as they're, you know, kind of saving my ass here. Alright, so we're here on the surface and the mans we was with skedaddles immediately, but we have other things to do, aka going to the library. We talked to most of the NPCs in here, and the common denominator of the topics we discuss is about the author, a guy who's pretty much responsible for most of the literature produced in this world. He's kind of an enigma though, as I don't think anyone has seen him. Most of what people hear from him are second-hand accounts. Anyways, off to the front desk, ask the robot for any clues about the tower, and he immediately directs us to the head librarian, George, whom he attempts to call. Yeah, she's definitely not picking up. She's currently locked in, so she's not answering any phones. But however, she's in the library archives, so we can go directly to her. But of course, we need a library card to access the archives. Alright, before we do that, let's go walk around some dingy alleyways, shall we? Alright, maybe that was a bad idea. But actually no, because there's a finest guy with some nice little cutesy kitty cats. Oh my god. I actually really hate cats. Not you, Nico. You're cool. Another cat joke at Nico's expense. Fantastic. And we walk around some more and find, I guess, a homeless person's room. And there we see a box with some plastic discs. And naturally, we commit larceny. Walk around some more and we find a tree with a mystical aura in the alleyways. A fox stands beside it, but very quickly runs behind it. The fox begins to talk, I guess, saying that it can't talk to me as of now, but makes us promise to return back once the time is right. In other words, this is referring to the Solstice DLC that if y'all want to see, you know what I'm saying, just holler at your boy in the comment section, come on. Alright, let's leave these alleyways before we get chunked. We find the man that skedaddled from us and is busy lighting up the street lamps with pink phosphorus. He directs us to a factory at the end of the street where scientists are at. And we arrive at said factory, but puzzle time thing, as you already know. We have to pass some security light system thing and you have 5 attempts at it. Now Mr. Carrot Helper hyphen 100% walkthroughs or operand no commentary, he got it in 3 tries, which kind of embarrassing. I mean, I got it in 1, you know, not to stand to flaunt here. Of course, I don't have the video, but I'm trustworthy. You can take my word for it, absolutely. We're granted access and we talk to one of the scientists there whose speciality seems to be phosphor. Quite learn how dire the circumstances of the city is, as there's a very good possibility the city will run out of lights in the next 6 months. Another scientist bears witness to one of the facility's robots succumbing to the decay. A pretty frequent occurrence according to another scientist. Walk into another room and what a familiar face. Now if you remember Silver from the Barrens, you'd also remember that there was a letter she received regarding her assignment to the Barrens, which was from one Kip. And that Kip is this Kip. Kip, being Mr. Lead researcher in the world, created Silver, but their contact seems to be very strained, as Silver doesn't really respond to Kip's letters. We ask her for help to get into the library archives, and she hands us her library card. But of course it didn't give us access because, shocker, a cat boy doesn't really look too similar to a sapphire-haired lady. But hell, we stole some glitter glue from Kip just a few minutes ago, and now all we need is a picture of us, and we can stick it to the damn ID. We find a photo booth place, but the camera doesn't work, obviously. But remember the plastic lenses at the homeless guy's place that we stole? Yes, we need to arrange them in a given order in the camera, which makes it work. Take the photo, attach the photo with the glitter glue to the ID card, present it to the library robot, and we are let through. In there, Mr. George is there, and we tell her about the whole tower shenanigans, and she tells us that there is a small room you're supposed to go into once you're at the tower, but after that it's pretty much a mystery. She poses asking us, the gods, about the details. We see one of the books that she has in her room with that same clover symbol that we've seen almost everywhere, and we now learn that that is basically the author's insignia. And also, remember that clover book we took from that locker in the Barrens? We give it to George and she's able to decode it for us, but of course, like clockwork, Nico is tired. So we utilize one of her guest rooms and we give Nico some rest. Big ups Mr. Carrot for the footage once again. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, the dream's pretty self-explanatory. So after resting, Nico goes back to George, who has now finished decoding the message, and we read it. It says the tower is the home of an elusive entity, the spirit of the world, essentially. It communicates through computers and machinery. When we first arrived here with Nico, it did contact us. This is probably referencing our first transmission with it, in that dingy room we woke up in the beginning. That entity is supposed to guide Nico and us to the tower. We are to enter through a small room at the tower's base, and we are to bring 3 pieces of the previous sun and the new sun itself. The 3 pieces being the golden feather, the amber coin, and a golden die that George eventually gives us. Nico will not be able to do anything there, so it is all up to us. There's also some gibberish about looking at the pattern on the floor, doing as it says, window gone, need to bring it back. You know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And there we go. But first, that nigga's starving. Let's go back to that cafe and get the some pancakes. The cafe worker and Nico talk about pancakes for a bit, naturally, and this conversation reminds Nico of his mother, who usually made him pancakes on very special occasions. This of course does touch Nico, as I'm sure like any other child, he does miss his mother. With that comes the doubt creeping back in about the uncertainty of the possibility of saving this world, or whether he gets to go home. But the cafe worker keeps up his spirit, because after all, once his mission is complete, he gets to go home afterwards. And it does Nico some good. And that's pretty much it. So all that's left now is the tower. I may have forgotten where the tower is. Is it this? Oh yeah, it was. Never mind. Gotta be respectful. We're going to a sacred place. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very close to the end. Deep breath in. Out. Let's go. Okay. So what we're meant to do now is close the OneShot program and relaunch it. Let's just fire that back up. Yep. It may not look it, but we're now inside the tower. The sun, however, is no longer with Nico, a fact that he notices. He tries to ask us about it, but as the letter said, once in the tower, Nico is on his own. He walks around the void until he finds a computer which tells him that he is successfully in the tower. It says that we have already left, our mission being complete, and so is Nico's. So now he can rest. The next time he wakes up from that rest, he will be back home. Nico is conflicted, thinking there'd be far more to it, and he's finding it hard to stomach our very abrupt exit. The computer reassures him, telling him he's already saved the world. He should be happy, shouldn't he? Nico laments not being able to tell us goodbye, but ultimately gets into bed for the very last time. Ain't no way, son. Ain't no way! I guess we're conflicted too. We launched the game back one more time. We were able to call out to Nico in his dream, but he still can't hear us in the tower. Clover. Yes, I'm still here. Why are you still here? Bro, why? Bro, relax, chill. You know, I need a little bit more than that. I can't lie to you. Cause Nico's my boy. And we need a guarantee that them is safe. You feel me? Whoa. This is sounding a bit crazy. You knew. I tried to cut the story short. Is that it? I had a feeling. You want more out of me, is that it? Absolutely. Let's go. If you don't want to leave, I'll make sure you never do. Whoa. Okay. Well, considering how malicious the computer was sounding, I don't want to go through this door, but fuck you. Back then, I told you about the entity as little as possible. Apologies for that. I did not want to put the librarian in danger. This being has a habit of silencing the people who learn of his true nature. Regrettably, I have seen it happen to dear friends. But do not worry, the entity cannot touch you, nor can it do anything to me. I already left the world on my own terms. I never meant for the entity to exist, but now that it is fully sentient, one thing became clear. The entity seeks death. Death to itself, death to the world, a relentless desire that manifested physically. You have already seen the scars. Right now, the entity is doing everything it can to impede your progress, stalling for even a few minutes, before you inevitably bring the sun to the tower's summit. That is where you, God, will make the final judgment for the world. Of course, the entity will contact you again there. And when it does, it will trick you into shattering the sun. This will end the world instantly. No. It's not that simple. I am sorry. I do not know what to do in a situation like this. But I think I have to tell you the truth. The sun is the Messiah's tie to the world. As long as the sun is intact, the Messiah remains trapped here. Shattering the sun may terminate this world, but it is also the only way for the Messiah to return home. I did not realize things could end up like this. Please, forgive me. Nico can finally hear us again, and the two of us are once again reunited with the sun. Now all that's left to do is... We're back at the old house, but this time it's far from being decrepit. Even the room is clean. We exit out of the front door, but are interrupted. Our choices are laid before us. Shelter the sun to let Nico get back home, but assuring the world's death, or let Nico return the sun and bear the sacrifice of his life that comes with it. Nico is clearly still ignorant of the current position he's in, and I mean, how can you really blame him? He's only just a kid who's still looking for that reassurance from us, because after all, we've been his guardian for the time we've been together. We've had to reassure him along the way, picking him up as he fell, directing him on the right path, and through that we've learned so much about not only him, but the frail world we're in, still clinging on to life, to a hope. He is that hope. But even if the end justifies the means, I'd rather him know the cross he must bear. And so we do. And a long, deafening silence follows. And before it can be cut short, we've arrived at the summit, the physical climax of our entire journey through this world. Nico reruns the choices he has, and the reality weighs on him. But much like any child, he looks to us, his guardian, for direction, as he's done numerous times previously. Like any other child, he seeks to follow our lead. Surely we've been around longer and would know what the right thing to do would be. But this reality the child has to bear is simply one that nobody can even fathom going through. But those golden eyes will still keep looking up at us for the answer. Should we return him home, dooming the world, or return the son and have the child bear the burden that comes with it? And almost cruelly, as if sensing the toll this has taken on us, he takes it upon himself to be the adult and reassures us one last final time. Dude, what a game. Now, it's not exactly like sacrificing yourself for the greater good of the world is a new archetype of story here, but I think it's all the bells and whistles that come with it. The art, the music, the presentation, the world building. I mean, in this game, they're all firing on all cylinders, all to tell a simplistic story on sacrifice and the unwavering resilience of life itself in this universe. The last one being a very easy comparison to our world. But hey, that's just one of my interpretations, and I'm curious to hear what y'all think. If you've played it or you just watched me play it, even though I told you to go play it fast for sake. And hey, even if you hate it, you might as well drop a little comment, cause it's called engagement, honey. Also, y'all know I'm something of a game collector myself, and there is a physical version available of this game with I think even the OST in it, but it's only available through... I'll cut in a little clip from a cancelled video I did where I was discussing this right about now. So you know, the OneShot World Machine Edition was released September 22nd, 2022. And let's go here. The limited run website where this stuff was supposed to be sold at. Let's first note that PS4 and Switch, lovely that. No PC, no Xbox. We fucking love that. I want us to just keep an eye out on the price here. Okay, OneShot Machine Edition Switch, the basic one, $34.99. World Machine Edition Collectors, $84.99. That's the full package that comes basically with the the game, the soundtrack, glass magnet pins, bookmark, fold-out map, and acrylic lamp. A pretty decent deal for what is $84.99. And that's the same price that goes with the PS4 edition. Now, sold out. That's honestly a limited run feature at this point. Forever physical, more like forever f***ing sold out. I missed it, okay? I didn't have the guap for it at that point, so I decided to go on eBay. Remember the prices we just saw. 34 basic, 84 for the collector's edition. Okay, let's add some shipping costs on that. Let's put like $100, okay? And if you're European, let's say, let's put 100 euros on top of that as well. Let's go to the first listing. £290. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Note this. Condition new. That's just one listing. Surely the next one will be proper. What do we notice here? New. And they have the audacity to give me a £15 off. I am going to shoot. This is almost like, can I break out the calculator for 1 second? This is literally a 419% markup, bro. A 400, like why do scalpers just choose to ruin everybody's fucking life? God, I wanted this one too, the Night in the Woods collectors. I'm sorry, but listen, when anything goes through limited run, it's a scalper's heaven. That's what it is. Their motherfuckers just waiting, itching. They probably have fucking bots on that site just waiting to buy up the stock just to flip it for 500% markup. So I don't know about you. I'm definitely not paying 400 pounds for this game. Limited run is not about a restock that. I mean, I'll live. I still have my pride and joy anyway. Look at this dude, bro. This dude offered me 450. Oh my god. Let me show y'all something I'm massively proud of copying. This right here. You can even see man won this at an auction. When I tell you this motherfucker right here, it was a lone listing. And I kept this shit like as a notification on my phone. So immediately the price changes. I'm on that. I'm telling you, man was even searching like auction tips on eBay. Like, it was serious. And in the end, lad, I got that motherfucker. And you know, in the end, whenever I feel pissed that I didn't get that one-shot shit, I remind myself I have this beautiful package. Oh, whoa, that does not sound right. Pause. And I am not going to talk about this OST at all in this video because I am saving it for this game's own specific video. I told you you'd be hearing this phrase a lot. Anyway, next video hopefully won't be a cry fest like this one. Hopefully funny, but hey, if you want me to do the Solstice DLC, drop a comment and I'ma see to it. Anyways, if you're f***ing with the boy, you already know what to do. I ain't gonna hold your hand. So I'ma see yous later and I'ma leave y'all to enjoy these tunes. And I'm definitely not gonna put a jump scare in between somewhere.